20-minute full body feel good Pilates coming at ya. I'm using a ball and 3-pound dumbbells if you have them. Let's go. Just starting to find a comfortable position to rest in. Starting to ground the body on the floor or on your mat, wherever you're working. Maybe closing your eyes if you feel safe to do so. And then taking those big inhales through your nose and exhaling through your mouth with a big sigh. Taking these at your own pace. When you're ready, give me one more big inhale through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. We'll start to bring the arms to a cactus position and let the knees fall side to side. Finding those windshield wipers, pausing to one side for a moment if you need, and then switching. And then we'll start to bring our knees in towards our chest, giving them a nice big hug. You can find a little bit of movement here, maybe find stillness, maybe forehead comes up to meet the knees. And then start to bring the knees out towards the sides. Maybe you bring them together, finding some circles, loosening up the hips. Just taking whatever you need here before we get moving. Perfect. Once you feel it all loose, we'll start to grab that ball if you're using it. Or you could use a cushion, whatever you have. We're going to place it right underneath your shoulder blades. Find a little curve of the spine. Bring the hands towards the head. Elbows are nice and wide. Pull that chest up, finding that crunch. Knees are bent, heels are planted heavily on the floor. Chest starts to lower down nice and slow over top of the ball, and then lift it up, feeling that crunch at the top. Chest lowers and lifts, starting nice and slow and controlled here. Finding that breath, inhaling on the way down, exhaling on the way up. Maybe finding that Pilates breath with a shh. Big squeeze of the core at the top. Awesome. Option to stay here nice and slow, or we start to speed this up. Chest just begins to lower and lift, lower and lift. So range of motion might be a little bit smaller here. The ball is going to make us a little bit unstable. You can always do it without if you would like. Good. Last one here. We'll find pulses at the top. Little squeeze and release of the core. Gazes towards the ceiling. We're just holding that neck for support, not grabbing onto it. We're going to hold at the top in 4, 3, 2, 1. Just hold. Big squeeze of that core. Can you lift an inch higher? Maybe one more inch. Start to bring that right leg up to tabletop, then that left leg. Single leg alternating marches. Holding the chest up. Lower core is being used to bring those legs up each time. Good, last one here. We'll pick both legs up to tabletop, just hold. Start to find those toe taps. One toe taps down, then the other toe taps down. Option to bring those arms down by the hips if it's more comfortable.
What's the story to tell? What's the story behind?
Good, a challenge here is going to be a single leg extension, and then switch. Keeping that core nice and stable. Make sure you're still breathing here. I know it's tough. Modification if you need at any time. We're here for 3. Last 2. Last one, double toe tap, toes tap down, and then lift back up to tabletop. So legs are staying nice and squeezed together, finding those inner thighs, only lowering the toes as much as you can without losing that neutral spine. And we're here for 3. Legs to tabletop in 2. Last one, keep the legs at tabletop, so to find those hundreds, so hands pulse down and up. Holding that core nice and tight. A couple options here, you can extend those legs out for a challenge. If it's too much at any time, you can bring the feet back down to the mat, finding extra support. Bringing those shoulders up an inch higher if you can. Make sure you're still breathing. Maybe you breathe in for 4, out for 4, or you shorten that breath. You're so close. Good, last one here, pull the knees into chest. Take a nice big stretch over top of the ball. Where we're going next is you're going to turn onto your left side. We're still going to use that ball or whatever you're using. It's going to come right underneath your rib cage. Knees can either be bent on the ground or your top leg can be extended. It's just going to be a little bit less supportive. Left hand can push into the floor or the mat, and then your right hand's going to come towards your head. Good, we start to find an oblique crunch, so elbow crunches towards the hip and then lower down. Think about the rib cage coming towards the hip bone. Big squeeze and release.
You and your beat up guitar always seem to move me like a superstar. What's the story about
Good option to stay here. We're going to add on. When you get to the top, you're going to extend that arm out, pull it back in, and then lower and lift. Push it out, in, lower, and lift.
we can write our own ending this time? I wanna say no, but I cannot lie. I'm so curious about your life, but you're a stranger trying to hide.
Okay, we're going to start to pulse here. Last one. Hold at the top, find those pulses. Reach that hand farther away from you. And make sure you're still breathing. Going next, we're going back to full range, adding in a lift of that leg if you would like. So everything becomes one big movement. Always going back to any stage that we've gone through if you would like. And last two. Last one, we stay at the top. One more set of pulses. Everything lifts. Everything tries to squeeze together. You're so close. You guys think we hold right to the end for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let everything go. Take a nice stretch over top of that ball. And then when you're ready, we'll push onto our hands and knees. Put the ball to the side for a moment. Find your hands and knees. We'll find some cat-cows. Chin to chest. Spine rolls towards the ceiling. And then opposite belly towards the ground. Chin to the ceiling. When you're ready, we're going to place your left forearm down onto the mat. Right hand's planted in towards the ground. Bring your right leg back and just hold. Start to bend the knee behind your left leg and then extend the leg out behind you. Pull it back and then extend. So a little crossover of those knees before you push it back. Good, big squeeze of the glutes. Upper body can work a little bit here, bending the arms and then extending. And last one here. We bend that knee behind your other knee and then pull the knee in towards your elbow. Good, pull it in towards your elbow, back. Good, we go for 2. And last one, that leg's gonna extend behind you and then pull it in towards your elbow. Extend into elbow. Big crunch of the obliques. Start to feel those glutes turn on. We're here for 3. Leg stays extended in 2. Last one, leave the leg back. Start to bend the heel in towards your butt and then extend the leg. Big hamstring curls here. Good option to start adding in the left arm as the leg extends. You push onto that left hand and then lower. Lower and lift. Bringing the upper body into it, putting in that work. Amazing. Last 2, we're going to stay on that left hand. Find little pulses with that leg nice and straight. And we're here for 4. We're going to bend that leg in 3, 2, 1. Little pulses with that leg bent, heel towards the ceiling. Good. Can you push for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower that knee down, push back into your child's pose. Get a nice release in those glutes. When you're ready, open your chest cup. We're going to find that ball one more time if you have it. We're going to place it right between your thighs. We're coming onto our hands and knees, finding our bear plank position, hovering the knees just above the ground, just holding to start. Once you feel ready, knees tucked down, up, down, up. Good, shoulder blades are wide, lower core is pressing up towards the spine. Inner thighs are squeezing the ball. Knees hold up, we squeeze the ball in. Option to drop the knees here if you need. Amazing, we find a combo, 1 tap of the knees, 1 squeeze of the ball. Tap, squeeze, tap, squeeze. Awesome, we stay here for 4. Last 3. We go 2. Last 1, push up into a downward dog. You might have to adjust your feet a little bit. Pedal out the heels if you need. Find a nice stretch in that back body. Good, press the heels down towards the mat and then we articulate the spine forwards, finding that bear plank and then press back to downward dog. bear plank to down dog, still squeezing the ball with your knees. Option to add in a squeeze of the ball at the bottom before you press back to that down dog. Good, we've got last two. Last one here, we just end with that bear plank, just hold. You're almost there, you got it. Can you push for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Take that ball out. And then when you're ready, you're gonna push back to downward dog, take a nice stretch one last time. Ready, we'll step hands into feet into hands, and slowly roll up, head coming up last. Take a couple shoulder rolls here, whatever you need, grab water. We're gonna grab that ball one more time, or whatever you're using. Place it on the ground in front of you. Your heels are gonna come onto the ball, toes are on the ground. Feet are just narrow. Then once you feel comfortable, you're gonna start trying that narrow squat. So we lower hips back, and then lift back up, big squeeze of the glutes. Option here is to do this without the ball. You can just do this with feet on the ground. Having that ball is going to challenge our stability here. Then we start to add in 2 pulses at the bottom before we lift all the way up. Make sure you're breathing here. That core is working and pulling in, wrapping around the rib cage to help you feel stable. Stay here for 2. Good, last time we're going to stay down and just find those pulses here. Go up an inch and down an inch, feeling a little squeeze and release from underneath the glutes. Then we change this up, we press the heels in towards the ball, down, down, down. We hold down nice and low, we bring the hands up and down, past the hips and towards the ears, sweeping the arms up and down, just holding like nice and isometrically with the legs. Good, here for 2. Last one, keep the arms up. Start to butterfly the knees in and out. We gotta keep pushing. All we got left is a set of pulses. We pulse down, down, down. We pulse for 3, we hold in 2. Last one, just hold. Can you sink an inch lower? Can you challenge yourself a little bit more for 3, 2, and 1. Lift up, step off that ball, shake out the legs for a second here. We're gonna grab it one more time, place it right above the knees in between the thighs, big squeeze on that ball. We start to find a big squat. We lower, hips back, and then lift, big squeeze at the top with the glutes. Squeezing that ball the whole time, finding that narrow squat. Option to stay here, or at the top you lift your heels up, finding your tippy toes, making this a little bit more powerful. Testing your balance. Awesome job, raising the heart rate a little. If you want even more, we're going to start to find a squat jump here. So you have 3 options, finding that regular squat, squat to tippy toes, or a squat jump right till the end. Can you push for 2? Last one, find that squat, find little pulses in your squat, up an inch and down an inch. Find that burn in your legs. Good, we hold down in 3, 2, 1. Start to pulse your knees in, squeezing that ball a little bit harder. Good, we end with a hold. Find that squat, sink an inch lower. We flush this out, lifting up and lowering down one last time here. Awesome job. We find last 2. And last one here. Let that go. Take that ball out from in between your legs. We're going to place it down one more time. This time you're finding that first position. So heels are touching, toes are slightly externally rotated. We start to squat down. Knees are going to go out towards the corners and then lift all the way up, squeezing your inner thighs. So more of a plie squat here. Again, that ball is always optional. You can do this on the ground as well. If you're not using that ball, maybe make your stance a little bit wider. Good, we start to add in 2 pulses at the bottom before we lift all the way up. 2 pulses, lift all the way up, big squeeze. Awesome job. Starting to feel that in the legs. Chest is proud. We're still breathing. Core is tight in, protecting the lower back. Good. We're just going to find that pulse here. Up an inch and down an inch. Good. We stay low in 2. Last one, start to squeeze the knees in together and then push them out. In and out. All we got left is those pulses. We go up an inch and down an inch one last time. Here we go. We lengthen out those legs in 3, 2, and 1. Lift all the way up. Shake it out. Take a second here. Ball can go to the side for a moment. Find the back of your mat. Give me a big inhale. Arms come up above the head. And on that exhale, fall forwards. Hang nice and loose here. Take a second if you need to pedal out your knees. And then whenever you're ready, we'll make our way down onto the mat, finding hands and knees one more time. We're onto our other side. So this time left leg goes back. Right forearm comes down onto your mat. Start to bend that left leg behind your other and then pull it up towards the ceiling. Behind, pull up. Now remember that upper body and lower body can slightly shift back as you move the leg and then come back to center. Good, here for 3. Last 2. Last one, we start to bring that knee in towards your elbow. In and back behind. Feel a crunch with those obliques as the knee comes in towards your elbow. Good, here for 2. Last one, you're going to start to extend that leg back, pull the knee in towards your elbow. So just knee to elbow and then extend back. You're so strong. Feeling this in both glutes. And find those hamstring curls in 2. Last one, leave that leg back, pull the heel in towards your butt and extend the leg. Try not to let the knee lower down as you move the leg. Option to add in the push-up with the hand and then lower down, moving with the leg if you would like. Good, last 2. We stay up on our hands. Last one, extend that leg out, find little pulses, up an inch and down an inch. Good, we're going to bend the knee, bringing the heel towards the butt, keep pulsing in that hamstring curl. For 3, 2, and 1. Let that go, push back into your child's pose for a second. Feel the glutes have a nice release, and then we'll pull the chest back up. And when you're ready, grab that ball one last time. Got to the other side, lying obliques. So this time you're lying down on your right side. Balls underneath the rib cage. Right hand's on the mat. Left hand comes toward the head. Start to find those crunches. Lift all the way up and lower down. Big squeeze. Rib cage goes towards the hip bone. Good option to start to add in a reach with that top hand before you lower down. Lift, reach, back in, lower down. Here for 3. Good, keep breathing for 2. Last one, we're going to find those pulses at the top. Pulse up, up, up. Back to that full range here. Pull the arm in, lower, lift, reach. Option to add in the reach of the leg, or maybe making this one flowing movement. Everything lifts up and then lowers down. We're here for 2. Last one, we end with those pulses. Everything pulls in together. Big squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We hold right till the end. Just hold. Can you pull an inch more together? Big squeeze for 3, 2, and 1. Let that go. Big stretch over top of that ball. And when you're ready, we'll push all the way up. We're gonna grab those dumbbells if you have them. And we're also gonna use that ball one more time. We're gonna come to a kneeling position. Ball's gonna come in between your thighs, so big squeeze on the ball, finding those inner thighs. 1 dumbbell in each hand. Hips are gonna slightly come back. You're gonna find that half bicep curl, so you lift up and then only come down halfway. Elbows can be slightly away from the body. It's gonna be a little bit tougher. If they're close into your rib cage, it's gonna be a little bit less. And we're gonna start to find a pulse here, up an inch and down an inch. If at any time this is too much on your knees, please take this in a different position or put a cushion under your knees. And we're gonna add in the lower body. Hips lift up with that half bicep curl, up and lower down.
Start cherishing what you hold in, and we will make it last. Not often we
Head in 2. Last one, we're gonna find halfway again with the lower body, finding those half bicep curls one more time.
the value that we gain. Now listen, little one.
Here for 2. Last one, find halfway, reach that right arm out, pull it in, find that left, right, left, right, left, while holding halfway with that opposite arm. An option to bring the hips up and keep moving those arms. Alright, we're gonna pull both arms out, little pulses, up an inch and down an inch. Elbows are far away from our body. Good, last 3, 2, 1. Pull the arms up, finding your cactus or goalpost position. Start to find a big shoulder press. Elbows go wide, and then lift up. Find that big squeeze on the ball. Don't let that go. Full body is working here. Start to add in the hips. Hips lower, and lift with the arms. Starting to feel the upper body heat up. This is your last push. What do you got left in you? We're going to stay down halfway with that lower body, just those shoulder presses. We bring the chest up. Find that cactus position, little pulses, up an inch and down. Find those shoulders. Good, we're going to start to bring the elbows close together and then out to that goal post. In and out. Last 2. Last one, keep the elbows in, close together. Reach one arm up to the ceiling and then switch to the other arm. Up, up. I know it's burning, you're almost there. Find little pulses out into that cactus and then pulse the elbows closer into each other. So think about 4 counts on the way out to that cactus, 4 counts on the way in. It's so small, it's so controlled. Do you have one last one in you? Yes, you can. And let it all go. Awesome job. Take your equipment, put it on the ground. Find a couple of shoulder rolls backwards, maybe a couple forwards. Start to let the neck fall side to side if you need. Shaking it all out. Bring the hands in front of you, clasping the fingers, round the back, and then we switch opposite way. Fingers clasped behind you, chest goes out. If you're flexible, you can lean forwards, get a nice stretch in your shoulders. That is all. Amazing job, and I'll see you next time.
Broken heart, waiting for you to come out and save me. I'm a mess, need to untangle.